Hey guys, so today we're going to be giving some of our hot takes. Me and Elias thought we'd share a little bit about ourselves and some controversial opinions that we have. I'll start off. I think that Biggie is better than Tupac.
Okay, going like that route. Okay. Um, I really think that the early 2000s had a lot of pop bangers, like
Huh?
radio hits.
Bet, bet. Um, I really love the Speed Racer movie, the one made by the Matrix people. I think it was underrated gem.
Sure. Um, hmm. I don't like incentive variant covers.
Man, that's a massive hot take. Um, I think we should get rid of homeless.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Cosmic Panels weekly polls. Thanks so much for joining us once again, and I want to remind you guys that this segment is sponsored by Comic Universe. Comic Universe is a lovely comic shop located at 446 McDade Boulevard in Folsom, PA. If you guys are in Philly, it's just on the outskirts, so not too far of a trip, and it's worth it. They'll make it worth your time. They got new books every single week. They got trades, they got hardcovers, they got a nice dollar book collection, they got keys, they got graded books, and coming very soon, some merchandise, shirts, that kind of thing. So definitely give them a visit. Right now, they're running a sale. That's $5 on trade paperbacks, of which they have a huge collection. That's $10 on hardcovers, of which they have a nice collection as well. So definitely give them a visit. If you see Mike and Mike, please tell them that the Cosmic Panel sent you. Thanks so
Yeah,
much, guys. Before we get into the video, please like, subscribe, and comment below what you guys are excited to pull this week. There's a lot of good number ones starting up. And let's get into it. Lucas, what is your first pick for this week?
yeah. So this week, my first pick is The Batman First Night #1. Um, really been enjoying a lot of the Batman auxiliary stuff recently. And this looks like it's going to be pretty interesting. A DC Black Label book basically retelling the original story with Batman. Um, I think this is something that is unique and actually like a really original idea, to be honest, like kind of remastering comics. But yeah, no, I'm actually really excited. Dan Jurgens, who is a really good writer, I really enjoy his work, um, especially on Superman and stuff like that. Is going to be writing this, so I'm quite excited to see how this is going to turn out.
And we got Mike Perkins on the art, who, if I'm not mistaken, I first read his work in the Deathlock run from the Marvel Now era. He has also done a lot of the Swamp Thing run, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
So yeah, that's cool. This definitely looks like a promising book. I'm all for giving people classic atmospheres with updated writing. I think that's always a fun thing. So yeah, this looks very solid.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Elias, what is your first pick?
My first pick for this week is going to be Shazam #9. This is actually going to be the final Mark Waid written Shazam book on this series. And it's including a character who I really enjoy from Deep Cut DC Universe, and that's Creeper. Shazam versus Creeper. I didn't think I'd ever see that matchup. This book has been a lot of fun. They just wrapped up a kind of mini arc with Black Adam, and yeah, Mark Waid and Dan Mora started off this run, kind of changed the status quo for Shazam a little bit, now just being called the Captain. So I think in general, Mark will have left this character in a better place, and I'm excited to get into this issue.
Yeah, apparently Josie Campbell is going to be writing. And if you don't know, she's been writing the Amazon's Attack book, which I've actually been quite enjoying. And also, she wrote the new Champion of Shazam, which was the one about Mary Marvel. So I think we're kind of in good hands. But yeah, it's definitely hard to see Mark Wade leave. But I get it. World's Finest probably demands a lot of his attention already. And plus, I mean, getting this book up and on the ground is really kind of probably what he was setting out to do, not to just like take over this book entirely. So I'm glad we have a good Shazam ongoing right now, and I'm excited to see the new creative team take over.
He's picked up a lot of side books along the way. Since starting World's Finest, there was the Teen Titans book, and then this even having Dan Mora on it at all was a pretty big ask. Because he's already doing World's Finest with Mark as well. So
And a million
um,
DC variants.
yes, and a million DC variants at all times. But yeah, hopefully he's able to come back consistently on World's Finest because this next few arcs definitely look promising after that annual.
Yeah.
What's going to be your next pick?
My next pick is Teenage. Now this is a mouthful. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin 2 Re-Evolution Number One. We just call it The Last Ronin 2. Um, but yeah, no, this is basically taking up a decade after The Last Ronin, and I'm actually pretty excited. I've been keeping up with the story. The Last Ronin was phenomenal, and a lot of the follow up stories were really great too. But basically, this is now going to be following the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that we have gotten to know Moja, Odin, Uno, and Yi, who are all being trained by Casey Marie Jones, who is April's daughter, basically. Uh, so it's finally time to see new Ninja Turtles, basically, and I'm pretty excited for this. They've been building up to this slowly. They've taken a couple side books to really flesh out the world a little bit more since the original series, and it feels like okay, we're finally time. I think the last Ronin released in 2018, so it's been 5 years since that released. At more than 5 years actually. Now that I think about it, 6 years, but still, yeah, no, I feel like this is about time.
Yeah, Last Ronin is a widely renowned Turtles storyline, hard to find in original format. So this is cool. I know a lot of people are going to be excited about this.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Anyway, Elias, what is your next pick?
Next up for me is going to be Ultimate X-Men #1. This is a Peach Momoko written and drawn book from the Ultimate Universe that we are getting to know, featuring Armor as the main character. A very interesting pick. I'm very curious to see what Peach has planned here. I think this has a lot of potential, but writing and drawing or painting, in her case, is always a big ask. So, very curious to see what this book holds. The Ultimate stuff has been very solid so far in my eyes, and I have no doubt that this first issue will be very solid as well.
Yeah, it should be very interesting, especially because the Ultimate Universe is progressing, and we're kind of getting. I love that we're getting like real time updates. Like every issue is like another month in this universe. Like Spider-Man 2 was in February. Um, but yeah, this will be interesting to see what's going to happen. Um, I wonder if Tony Stark is sending something to her, or if her powers are just going to activate.
Right, because they haven't really touched on many mutants in this new universe. I mean, we've seen
Exactly.
Sunfire, Colossus, but we don't know if the Maker just like didn't mess with them, like, and when they exhibited their mutant gene, he didn't like suppress it, or what the situation was. But yeah, that'll be very interesting. Spider-Man, I think, is going to be hard to beat. 2 issues in, and it's really good. And the month jump format looks like it's going to stick to the Spidey book, but that's just a great Hickman writing tool. He always thinks of something to make each book that he writes unique. And I think this is a good format for Spidey for sure. But yeah, I'm excited to get into Ultimate X-Men. I don't think it's going to be as hot as Black Panther or Spidey, but I'm not against being proven wrong.
Yeah. I'm curious. Did you read Black Panther? So I'm just curious. Overall, what do you think about this universe now that we have at least two of the titles ongoing now?
Well, Black Panther was rushed for good reason, like the pacing of the first issue.
I
I
also felt that
understand
way.
that they're trying to establish a lot really quickly, which I'm not. I'm understanding of that strategy, but it just as a result, wasn't as solid in giving us like a clear idea of characterization of these versions of the characters and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
I didn't really think I knew this T'Challa. I felt like he was just being slotted in from the regular universe.
Hmm. Um, so yeah, just so far it doesn't seem different enough, really, from the mainline universe. But I like Killmonger. Like that looks like a
Killmonger and
really
Storm was cool.
that looks like a really sick version of them. But yeah, it was a little odd in the pacing sense.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I have a theory that Shuri's the one that bombed and killed their father, but that's just my own personal, because she knew that T'Challa wouldn't do anything unless something happened. You know,
Again, I just don't know the characters well enough to
that's true. Me
gauge
neither.
if she would
So
do something like that. But
true.
we need to learn a lot more about the enemy too, right?
Yeah, we need
So
like a
far it's
book
just been like
devoted to them.
Moon Knight's soldiers, which is an interesting concept, but we didn't really see much of the Two Fisted Khonshu in that first issue, so a little weird, but I think it can get better.
I think it would be cool if they did like a one shot for like the Illuminati. I think getting having us like sit in on one of their meetings or something like that, that could be cool. It doesn't even need to be crazy.
Yeah,
Like
because a
no
lot of
action
people
needed.
didn't pick up Ultimate Invasion and literally just use the Ultimate Universe special to jump into this new universe. So
Yeah.
the one shot, that was the one shot that they had to explain what's going on,
Yeah.
basically. But anyway, all right,
Yeah.
what is going to be your next pick?
My next pick is going to be Birds of Prey number 7. I really enjoyed this first arc. This first arc was fucking amazing. Kelly Thompson killing it. We had a little hiccup with the backup artists in issue 5, with a really weird anime esque. I kind of want to say a little bit sexist uh, art, uh, where it just made everyone feminine as hell for no reason. Um, but yeah, no, this series has been great. I really like that they're already changing up the team. That's really cool to me, and I love that we're getting now. Sin is now has powers. Like we're getting these characters developed, and now we have a new mission, which is to save Batgirl. Um, I like that there was a reason to leave her out and everything. So it didn't feel out of character for Dinah, because Dinah, of course, trusts Barbara with her life. So the fact that she kind of was told to leave her behind was very hard for her, probably. So I'm very excited. Kelly Thompson has been killing this, has a voice for every one of them, and yeah, I'm excited to see what this new lineup is going to look like. I'm hoping that Big Barda doesn't leave yet, but yeah,
Yeah, the writing on this has been fantastic. It's just like a true fun superhero book. What it's the right vibe for Birds of Prey, big time. I'm hoping that Leonardo comes back sometime soon. Right now, he's just doing the covers. It looks like, but yeah, I hope that this team is eclectic. One of my favorite things about comics is eclectic teams. Kind of like these guys. Weird lineups of teams that have been around for a while. I think always are gonna grab some viewers, gonna grab some readers. So I'm
yeah.
excited to get into this next issue.
And honestly, the DC universe has so many female characters that honestly don't get enough spotlight. That honestly, you could rotate this cast forever and still not cover enough people. So this is great. Anyway, Elias, what is your next pick?
Next up for me is going to be Miss Marvel Mutant Menace #1. Iman Vellani and Sabir Prasada are returning to Miss Marvel very soon. It feels like after their last miniseries. I really enjoyed her last miniseries. I thought it was very solid, very much in
Yeah,
the voice of Kamala, and taking her into a new era. So this is cool. This is gonna put her in the Fall of House of X era, and hopefully there's some special pocket for Kamala to occupy during this conflict, because it's a big conflict, and come May, it's all going to be coming to a close. So I hope this is very solid, and I'm looking forward to reading it.
yeah, no. Iman Vellani has it's probably one of the best new parts of the MCU. Probably one of the only few good parts to be honest. So seeing her kind of help with the Kamala miniseries has been really cool. The last one was really good. I really enjoyed it. So very excited, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen with this story because right now she's just working with the X-Men, as far as I know.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I've been enjoying her voice in the main X-Men book too. I think it's been fun,
yeah,
showing that she's learning, but she's maturing while she's dealing with this like big conflict. So it's cool.
yeah. No, it definitely feels like she's respected within the group, which is nice.
Yeah. All right. What is next up for you, Lucas?
Next up for me is Poison Ivy number 20. Um, the first issue of this arc, which was Poison Ivy number 19, was amazing. Um, these year one stories that we've been kind of getting for the villains recently have been very good. The Penguin one, and now this. But yeah, I I think it's very interesting that we haven't seen an origin for Ivy, like a genuinely like completed origin for Ivy in so long. So this has been a really great way to condense and kind of make everyone caught up. But I love the amount of characters that were tied to her origin. Alec Holland's wife, um, Linda. I love that Jason Woodrue was the professor. I loved all these different things, and it was so interesting. It was so good, so well written.
Yeah, definitely not a unwelcome detour arc. This is, and it actually, progresses out of the last arc, because this is what Pamela is revisiting in her mind while she is dying, basically.
Yeah,
Um, and so it was a natural progression, which is nice, a nice added treat, um, a real transition. But yeah, this has been a very cool origin arc so far, flashback arc, and I have no doubt that it's going to continue to be so.
yeah, and I do love how she said the before I was even infected with the plants or whatever, this was the birth of Ivy. I do really like that it's not the powers that made her act this way; it was her herself.
It was her herself and the bad influence of Woodrue, and just
Oh yeah, that too.
that she felt like he had given her a purpose,
Yeah,
and she didn't want to be denied this advancement in science. So yeah.
yeah, really well written. Anyway, Elias, what is next up for you?
Next up for me is going to be Doctor Strange number 13. Last issue. Did you read last issue? I'm assuming.
I did not read any of this. Yeah, no, I haven't read anything since issue 10.
Well, then I will just say that last issue was a unexpected
You could say it's
return
fine.
to a character that showed up in this year's Crypt of Shadows Marvel special. So that was fun. A little one-off issue featuring bats. Everybody's favorite ghost dog. So it was a fun issue, and this book has been very consistent in general. Pascal Ferry and Jed MacKay work well together, I think, and Pascal is a nice fit for Doctor Strange. I'm especially excited for this issue because a new Secret Defenders team is being assembled, and it looks to be a very interesting cast.
Yeah,
Obviously, Jed will not say no to including Black Cat in a lineup with Doctor Strange. I think they have a fun chemistry. We got Hunter's Moon, which is cool, and we got Taskmaster.
I
So this is
love Jed's writing for Taskmaster. He always
yeah.
makes him just snarky enough, but also still respects him as a fighter.
So Jed, very carefully picked this team, but it's eclectic enough, to where it's going to lead to some interesting scenarios, I'm sure. So I'm
Is this the
excited to get
first
into this
time?
new arc.
Sorry, I was just gonna ask. Was this the first time that Alex Ross drew Hunter's Moon?
I think that is very, very possible, unless there's a variant that I'm unaware of. I think that is a good assumption.
Sick.
Yeah, add it to the list.
Another character that Alex Ross has drawn.
But yeah, very excited to get into this new arc.
Yeah.
All right, Lucas, that brings us to your final pick for this week. And what will that be?
Spectacular, spectacular Spider Man. Yeah, so Spectacular Spider-Man. I'm so excited for the series. We are Spidey fans are finally eating again after being locked in a prison, the gulag, and starved within an inch of our life. We're finally getting some food. We got the Jonathan Hickman Ultimate Spider-Man, and now we're getting Spectacular Spider-Man with Greg Weisman and Humberto Ramos. Uh, I'm so happy because Spectacular Spider-Man TV show is genuinely my favorite piece of Spider-Man media. Um, it is so good, so fucking good. I've rewatched that show probably like 3 times now, and every time I still love the way that Peter is written. I love the way the villains are built up. Um, and Greg Weisman, always a phenomenal TV show writer, always writes so well. Young Justice, Gargoyles. So, and I've read his comics that he's written, and he knows how to write comics too. It's not like he can only just write TV shows. So, I am very excited to see what he's going to do with this. Um, Especially because this is now going to be the first time where Peter and Miles are going to be on the same book continuously. This feels like it should have been a no-brainer. It's been 9 years since Miles crossed over into the mainline universe, and this is the first time they're now having a continuous team up book. That's fucking crazy. So I'm so excited, and who better to get back for Spider-Man than Umberto Ramos, who basically made basically shaped the art for Spider-Man in the 2000s to 2010s.
Yeah, big time. Spider Men, the first crossover event they had was a huge hit, obviously, and then Spider Man Two was a cool follow up. I thought so.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind that this is a recipe for success, and that they have a lot of good stuff planned. You know, arcs on arcs on arcs. I'm sure, and I'm excited to get a fresh writer on Spider-Man. Dan is kind of been the lone voice for good Spidey stuff for a long time, and for my money, I haven't loved his recent stuff with Superior and Spider Boy. So I'm excited to get some new hands on this couple of characters.
Yeah. Plus, I'm curious. What are your thoughts? Do you remember much of Spectacular Spider-Man TV show and
Yeah, I
Young
started
Justice?
rewatching like earlier this year, and then it kind of fell off, or last year. Uh, but yeah, I loved it. I loved it as a kid. I watched the hell out of it as a kid, like multiple times as a kid. I had all the DVDs. They like split them up into like arcs and stuff.
Yeah, with the subjects,
Yeah,
it was like science or chemistry, biology. Like, so good.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I fondly remember the show, and I'm sure that Greg has a good voice planned for Miles as well. This will be his first time writing Miles, then, right?
Yeah, I believe so. He
Yeah.
the only comics he's ever written, I believe, is been Young Justice and Gargoyle related. He hasn't touched any Spidey comics.
Cool. Well, clearly Spidey is beloved enough that he can be written well by more than one artist. I think Hickman is doing a great job right now. Even though he's never really touched Spidey before either. So Greg obviously has experience with Spidey, so I have no doubt that this will be a very strong series.
Yeah, very excited.
Keep not buying ASM and keep buying better Spidey books.
Yeah, that's how we show them.
Really hoping that issue 50 is his last issue, but like it's the last one that's announced right now because I think it's for May or
Oh
whatever for Zeb. So I have no
God, I
way of
hope it's
telling if it's
done.
actually over or if that's just, what they have announced up to just because it's the latest preview book
It's crazy to me
for
that Gang
June.
War is still fucking going. When did
Yeah.
Gang War start again? Fucking started in
Two
August.
months ago? August?
August. August of 2023.
How August? Like like prelude stuff, maybe? Or
Oh wait, no. Sorry. No, November. Sorry, I saw a Tombstone cover and it was the wedding, but it wasn't Gang War. So
yeah.
so November though. November.
Yeah.
That is.
No, that's
It's been 4 months.
gotta have a
Four
shit ton of
months.
tie-ins. Deadly Hands, Spider Woman, Luke Cage, Daredevil, Miles crossed over with it as well.
Apparently, there's gonna be a Chasm miniseries, but I don't know who's writing that. So,
Yeah. Well, here's the
yay.
problem: is like Spectacular Spider-Man and Ultimate Spider-Man are gonna do so well that Marvel's gonna keep pumping out these other Spider-Man series, like new ones. There's something called Shadow of the Goblin or something. That's a flashback series. That's a Green Goblin that existed before Norman, but we didn't know about it.
Oh my fucking
Yeah, exactly.
god.
Anyway. All right. Ask me my topic.
No. Just no, we end on Spider-Man. No. So what's your topic, Elias?
my top pick for this week. My topic for this week is going to be the Century number 4. Um, I really enjoyed this miniseries overall. I thought it was very solid. Um, it's the tone that I want out of a Century book, big time. And keeping it to 4 issues, I think, is a good move. Keeps the reader engaged for a certain amount of time, but accomplishes a nice bunch of stuff in that time. Um, Ryan Sentry, as he is calling himself, is a true menace.
What a lame fucking name, bro.
Yeah.
like what if you named yourself Elias Sentry
Well,
or
I
Lucas?
like that's how they like show and characterize that he's just a complete dick bag.
Also, him like bumping into the girl in the wheelchair and being like, "Move out of my fucking way."
Yeah. Yeah, just such a fucking asshat, and just shows that uh, you got to have responsibility when it comes to this kind of power. Um, but yeah, last issue we saw a cool use of the Sentry power, where it's just this woman who goes about her day to day job, but due to the super speed, she just quickly goes and deals with crimes like it's an annoyance. So that was kind of funny, and that was
Yeah,
fun. And
probably the most effective Sentry has ever been.
right, exactly.
I'm not gonna lie, maybe she should have stayed Sentry.
Yeah, except she instantly got killed by Ryan. But
Yeah, which I was like, really? That's it?
yeah, that was
I was like, where
surprising.
was the speed and strength there? But I guess he was like overpowered.
That's the problem, is that he's taken in so much now, that he's stronger than all the other sentries just because he has more of the sentry's power. But I do like the twist that he's kind of being haunted by the psyches or the consciousnesses of the people that he's killed with the power. So yeah, I'm curious to see how they're going to wrap this up. Sentry has had a very interesting go of it lately, from King in the Black, Return of the Valkyries series, uh, to that Thunderbolt series, to Doctor Strange. They referenced that last issue, which I really thought
Yeah,
was smart. So I'm curious to see where this series is going to leave Sentry, and where he's going to go next.
yeah. Now I have a question for you. Do you think who do you think is going to be the new Sentry? I'm curious on your idea.
Well, I wouldn't be my two top picks for how this could go is the girl keeps the
Mallory.
powers,
Yeah.
or no one gets them at all, and there's just no new Sentry. Those are kind
I
of my two things, because I don't think we need him to come back right away, and I don't think the original will come back. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think we need that character to be alive necessarily right now.
yeah. I think that personally, I think it'd be a really good subversion if Ryan became the Sentry, but because of the fact that the voices are constantly talking in his like head, he like maybe goes into outer space or something to like get them to be quiet or like flies away or something along those lines. Um, I think it could be really interesting if the way that Mallory defeats him is not by winning the fight, but by haunting him till till the end. Um, but yeah, I love his interaction though with the Avengers, where he's like, I'm a little bit more stable, and then as soon as they're like, Scarlet Witch, bring up magic, and he's like, no. Immediately, he was just like crazy as fucking. Tony was just like, yep, that's the Sentry I know.
Yeah, that was good. But yeah, I mean, Jason Liu has, I think done a great job with dialogue and everything like that in this series. Make everything feel natural, like every exchange.
Yeah, I really did love the exchange with Jessica too.
Yeah,
I love that she was flying. She's like, I still feel a little airsick. I love that. I love that part of her character. It makes her feel so human.
yeah, big time.
God, we need another Jessica Jones series.
Variants. I just referred to someone the other week at the shop. I really enjoyed that series, and I
Yeah,
think there's always something to do with Jessica, and it doesn't have to be like Variants was, yes, dealing with multiverse stuff, but it didn't take it too far out for the
yeah.
character. It still kept it grounded.
She
So
stayed in
that was
her
great.
reality. They came to her, which is
Exactly.
very different.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I mean, you could still do a lot of stuff with her because right now she's Luke Cage's wife, which means that she's the mayor's wife, which everyone keeps bringing that up. But like, yeah, that's a pretty important thing. She can't really act as a PI anymore because she's gonna get spotted instantly. I think it could be really interesting if she like tries to open up a business and just like every time she tries to like spot on someone, someone's just like Jessica Jones.
Yeah. That could be cool.
Yeah,
All right. Well, that is going to do it for polls for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, all that stuff I said at the beginning. Thank you again to Comic Universe for sponsoring us. Don't forget to support your local comic shop and read some comics. See
yeah.
you guys next time.
Don't read ASM. Read Spectacular Spider-Man.